Hello, my name is Tuck S, and today I'm going to be giving you an intermediate to advanced lesson on one of my favorite warm-ups for piano. This lesson was taught to me at Colorado Mesa University under the direction of Dr. Arthur Houle on piano. This warm-up is called the Chromatic Thirds warm-up. It does go both directions on the piano, it does use both hands, and it can be frustrating, so it is very important to remain calm, cool, and collected. So, there are a couple tricks to this warm-up. Firstly, lots of practice. It does seem kind of like a magic trick when you watch it the first time. It's kind of mind-blowing. And secondly, it comes a lot easier when you concentrate on fingerings rather than what's actually happening on the keyboard. If you can keep in your mind, we'll go over these slower in just a moment, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, things do become a lot easier. So let's get started. This warm-up begins on middle D, okay? The fingerings you're going to play are 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And then it starts over. This warm-up spans approximately 2.5 to 3 octaves, and then it descends back to the starting point. So let's go over that again just a little bit slower. Your fingerings again are 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. Now let's add the next chunk. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's add the next chunk. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? 1, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And then it starts over. Same with the left hand. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So, a good way to prepare for this warm-up, firstly, don't get frustrated because it will be frustrating, but that's half the fun. You need to rehearse the fingerings before you sit down at the piano. And what Dr. Arthur Houle instructed me to do was, in walking down the hallway during passing period or between classes, was to run through that in my head. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. After you get that down and you're comfortable with it, then you can apply that to the keyboard. So, my recommendation would be to start with the right hand, or your dominant hand if you're left-handed. Reason being is your dominant hand is going to be easier to learn the warm-up with to start. So for me, that would be my right hand. So again, the fingerings are 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. After you have that, practice the same thing with your non-dominant hand. So for me, that's my left hand. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay? After you've managed to learn the warm-up for the right hand and for the left hand, that's when things start to get really fun, and you get to put them together. So, I'm going to go through it slowly, and then I'm going to play through it a couple times for you. Okay? So, together, starting on middle D, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay? Now, to expand the warm-up, this is what it looks like going out and coming back in. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 2.5 octaves. So now going out and coming back in. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 1. I know it seems complicated now, but after having had the chance to not only run through fingerings, practice being calm during the warm-up and relaxed, and actually having some time to practice, it does become a lot easier. So, once you have gotten that under your belt, the next thing to do is take out the breaks and take out saying the fingerings out loud. What that looks like is this. Again. Pretty easy, right? So, the next step and the final step is on the written instructions for this warm-up. It's not something that you play through once. The intentions of this warm-up are to help build what we call chops. It's muscle strength, muscle memory in your forearms and in your fingers. So we don't just play through it once, we play through it 3 times at the same tempo, and then we speed it up and play through it 3 times more. And then we speed it up and play through it 3 times more, until you literally can't take it anymore. And after doing this several times, several days, several weeks, several months, it does help build up your chops, and it does help build up your muscle memory. So, I'm now going to demonstrate what the warm-up looks like with no breaks, with no fingerings said out loud, and in succession, so in 3s. And I'm going to speed it up and play it in 3s again. And I'll demonstrate this at a couple different tempos for you. I think you get the gist. So again, you start with one hand and fingerings, after you've gotten fingerings down, of course. Then you move to the other hand with fingerings. Then you eliminate the fingerings and you work with right hand. Eliminate the fingerings, work with left hand. Add back the fingerings, work with both hands. Eliminate the fingerings, work with both hands. And then you add the groupings of 3s. So you go through it 3 times, out, back, out, back, out, back, stop, increase the tempo, and that basically is the warm-up. Again, it can be frustrating, it does take practice, kind of blows your mind at first, but I promise with practice, with a little bit of instruction, a little bit of TLC, it's something you'll have down pat. It's a warm-up that you'll enjoy having in your repertoire, and it's something that you'll enjoy pulling out not only to blow your friends' minds, but something that you'll enjoy warming up with before concerts, performances, or just before a simple practice session. Thank you very much for your time.